Hello friends, welcome to American Academy for Financial Management. And I am Kareem Lakhani and I am back today to answer one more question that we received. So let's see what's the question. What are different types of inflation such as demand pull inflation and cost push inflation, and how are they distinguished? It's a nice question. Now let's try and understand the concept here. So when we talk about inflation, we have already made few videos in the past about inflation. That what is inflation? Inflation is a rise in cost of living or reduction in the purchasing power of money. Now, yes, the question says that the difference between the demand pull. Okay, so there are two reasons why the inflation happens. One reason is called demand pull inflation, and the second reason is a cost push inflation. So see, basically we all know that yes, inflation is there and what is the rate of inflation, but there are different reasons why the price goes up, and these are two main reasons why the cost goes up. So let's understand what is a demand pull inflation. Now see, the basic logic behind the cost goes up is demand and supply. So for any commodity, when the demand goes up, or alternately if the supply comes down, automatically the price is going to increase and it will lead to inflation. Okay, so here the same thing happens. So demand pull inflation can further be categorized as natural or man-made. Okay, now naturally what happens is anything which is coming into demand more because of the utility. Let's take an example of lithium. Okay, so when lithium was not much in demand, lithium was used mainly in the mobile phone battery. But since the lithium, this electric vehicles are getting more promoted, and it requires huge heavy batteries, and these batteries are made of lithium. So lithium ka utility went up, the lithium ka demand went up. So because the lithium ka demand is going up, the price is increasing, okay, for that particular thing. So naturally, anything where the requirement, the utility is more, automatically the demand will go up, and because of the demand, the price is going to be increased. So that is more of a demand pull inflation. Alternately, what happens is when we talk about man-made, there are a lot of instances where knowingly there are certain intermediaries, okay, certain businessmen who create that scarcity of particular product or commodity and try to create, that a buzz in the market that okay, this thing has been, very very less in the uh, less available in quantity, so the price increases. We have seen in the past where the tomatoes or the onions, now their price is supposed to be between 10-20 rupees kg, but we have seen that their prices have also touched to 150 rupees per kg because of the man-made, scarcity that they create by not supplying the commodities or any such product in the required quantity, even though the quantity is there. Okay, a lot of quantity is available, but you knowingly you are trying to create that demand by supplying less of quantity, then automatically the price goes up. Okay, the diamond is one of the best example for this. See, if you know that diamonds are available in huge quantity, okay, but the mafia knows that if they are going to supply so much of diamond in the market, so anything which is available in more quantity, the value is going to go down. Okay, so they are just creating psychologically, making people, or they are advertising that the diamonds are available in very less quantity, and if you buy the diamond, you will be one of the luckiest person to own a diamond, because diamonds are not going to be available in future. They are very rare. The quantity is very scarce. So you buy, and by creating that demand, by supplying less of quantity, showing that there's very less quantity available, they are creating that demand, and it is hence increasing the price of diamond. Okay, so these are like man-made reasons why the price goes up and why inflation increases. Although the diamond may not be a reason for the overall inflation to go up, because diamond is something which is uh, required, and it is only segmentized. It is only applicable to very few selected segment of people. But normally inflation will increase where something is applicable to the mass population. So that is going to impact the inflation. Coming to cost push inflation, basically here also you can have two reasons to categorization. One can be, normal, and other can be abnormal. Okay. Now see, anything the price goes up, naturally, normally the price goes up. Like if I'm a farmer and I have an agricultural field, I'm producing certain crops. Okay, say I'm producing wheat, and I have some 10, 15, 20 staff, labor in my working in my field. And every year I have to keep on giving them some increment. Okay. So if I am increasing their salary by 5%, 10%, so my cost is going up. At the same time, the fertilizers I am buying, the seeds I am buying, so the cost of those materials are also increasing, because they also are giving some increment to their labor, to their staff. So the raw material cost goes up. My manpower cost goes up. So ultimately, when I'm going to sell my crop in the market, I would expect a little higher price because my cost has gone up. So because the cost is increasing, it is pushing the price upwards, and it is leading to inflation. Okay. So that is one of the reason why the inflation happens, because of the increase in the cost. It also can happen abnormally. Now, when you look at, say, crude oil. Now, crude oil prices are so variable that we have seen in the COVID, it had also touched zero, rather even minus at times. And there were times where it even touched $150 per barrel. So whenever there is any war threat, now today the price of crude oil is high because there is some war going on between Russia, Ukraine, a lot of other countries are involved. So whenever there is any threat, okay, war threat, so there will be the supply of the crude oil gets disturbed. Because of that, there can be scarcity of crude oil, or strategically some countries will increase the price of the crude. So when such things happens, so all of a sudden you will see that, oh, your crude oil price has gone up. Because of the crude oil price goes up, there can be a direct and indirect impact. Directly, the petrol diesel that you are filling in your vehicle, the price goes up, and that is increasing your inflation. At the same time, indirectly also, if the petrol price goes up, diesel price goes up, everything, the transportation cost goes up. So your transportation cost goes up, is not only impacting your limited requirement for petrol, diesel, but whatever you are buying grocery, you are buying fruits and vegetables, those things are also going to become expensive because the cost of petrol, diesel is high. Okay, so that is, those things may become very abnormal. Okay, abnormally the cost goes up because of certain political or geopolitical or global political situations where the certain things goes up. Say crude oil goes up, so when crude oil goes up, many things are getting affected and overall the inflation in the country goes up. Okay, and it can go up abnormally. It is not going up at 4%, 5% normally. It can go up by 10%, 15%. After COVID, we have seen that the cost of the petrol has gone up. It was somewhere around 80 rupees or so. Today it is somewhere more than 100 rupees. So the cost has gone up by more than 20-30% today. Okay, in the last 2-3 years time. So likewise, the cost can go up and it is going to increase. It is going to increase our expenses overall and it will lead to inflation in general. So this is the difference between a demand pull inflation and the cost push inflation. Thank you.